Welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot. My name's Carol, and this is a general reading for Taurus, March 2024. And so to get started, Taurus, I want to look at your energy. I want to look at where you're sitting coming into March. What sort of issue are you dealing with? What sort of pattern might be coming up for you? So I'm going to start off with the Light Seer's Tarot, and I'm going to ask to pull one card to see what your current energy is. Your current energy is for March. And I did a lot of shuffling with these cards right at the beginning. I have two cards, but I just want one card, please. Two cards come out again. I just want one card for the top row. So I'll just put them back in if I don't get one that flies in. Here we go. Okay, so you got your Ten of Cups in reverse. For your first card, your Ten of Cups in reverse. Now I'm going to look at what you're unconsciously aware of. So what's sitting in your shadow that's related to this pattern, this issue, the struggle that's showing up in your life right now. And so we're going to do a bit of shadow work. So I'm going to ask one card, please. That one sort of wanted to come out. One card, please. All right, so we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. So that's pretty interesting. You go from the 10 to the 9 of Cups. Now we're going to look at advice from the tarot. After we've looked at your energy, after we've looked at what's coming up in your shadow, now we're going to look at some advice for you in... Actually, I'm just going to, that one looks like it turned a little bit. Okay, a little bit sloppy here. Okay, advice here. All right, we have the Justice card. The Justice card for you. And I'm going to ask for clarification using the Rider-Waite right now. And I'm going to look at two cards for each for clarifiers. All right, so clarification for the Ten of Cups, please. Two cards, please. I have the Eight of Wands in reverse. And one more card, please. And I have the Moon in reverse. And this one came out as well, the King of Cups. All right, so these are this is your energy right here. And then unconsciously, what's coming up in your shadow that you're not aware of. Yeah, I got my two cards. Okay, so Ace of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. And the Justice card here. Let's have some clarification for the Justice card, please. Two cards for the Justice card. Two cards, please. That one... Oh, it didn't turn over. I thought it turned over. Okay, two cards. There's one. One more, please. There we go. Two cards. So we have the Knight of Swords. And the Ten of Swords in reverse. Okay, so before we get started, I did a yearly reading for you, Taurus, for 2024, and it's linked in the description box if you haven't had a chance to see it. And what I did that reading was I took 12 cards to represent the 12 months of the year. And so I pulled your card for March, which was the Empress. Okay, that's what you got in March. And so that's going to be the overriding energy for this reading, which is the Empress. And the Empress is, there are two cards in the tarot. the High Priestess, which is number 2 of the Major Arcana, and the Empress card. And the Empress card represents those 2 cards, the High Priestess and the Empress, both represent the feminine aspect of ourselves. And we all have 2 parts. We have the feminine and the masculine aspect of ourselves. And the Empress in particular represents the body, represents creativity. She's all about getting into your body, finding, what your passion is, something that you'd be very creative at, something, and it doesn't have to be, learning how to play an instrument or writing a book, but it can be just taking your life in a different direction. She's all about authenticity, getting back to who you really are. And that is the sort of the overriding, and not the overriding energy of March. And so it sounds like, it's going to be a month where you're really, getting still, getting in touch with trying to get in touch, try to get back into your body, try to, do some feeling here. Really get in touch with your emotions, finding out what it is you really want to do. Maybe what it is you really came here to do. For some of you, you're starting to question that. And so Taurus, it starts out, your energy is the 10 of Cups. Now the 10 of Cups, is normally a card when it's in its upright position, is a card of all a display of cups. And so cups represent our emotions. And so the 10, because it's the final card in the cups, the 10 then would represent that full range of emotions that we all are supposed to feel, and we all can feel. But it came in reverse here for you. So I think you're sitting in an energy in March where we're starting off with, where, there's a bit of resistance here too, going inwards and starting to feel some of these emotions. And maybe there's particular emotions that you're struggling with that you need to get at, but there's a resistance. Whenever there's a card, I find that when my cards are reversed, they really mean there's a resistance to doing what we need to do sometimes. And it's interesting because what I see here is these 8 of Swords that have come up in reverse for you, which is your first card that you get. And so this tells me that the 8 of Swords Swords is a creative suit. It's all about following our passion. It's all about doing what we want to do. And there comes a point in time sometimes where we've been sitting on something, we've been sitting on a project we want to do, we have had a thought in our head for a while, and that's an intuitive thought. When you've had something, sitting there for a while, and it's not a desperate call, but it's just this little nudge, this little whisper that won't go away, that's your intuition. And so, and remember, and intuition is a feminine aspect of ourselves. It's one of those, and we're sitting with the Empress here, remember, for your overriding energy. So the 8 of Swords is coming up here, and you're sitting in a situation where you're wanting to just go for this particular project that you're thinking of doing, or the step that you're taking in your life, which is creativity. If you're taking your life into a new direction, you're being creative. And because there's so many ways we can be creative, and this is a general reading, but it's in reverse here, so there's still a big resistance. You have these 2 cards coming. Your first 2 cards are in reverse, so there's a resistance to taking that step that you're so close to taking. And the Moon card is coming up for you in reverse as well, so it's the 3rd card that's coming in here, and that's a major arcana, 3rd card that's in reverse here. And this card is saying, the Moon card is all about feeling more comfortable with trusting ourselves, feeling more comfortable with trusting our intuition. The Moon is about all those things that we don't see, and our intuition is really, when we listen to our intuition, it's just this little whisper that, like I said, that keeps on nudging at us, and it's in reverse here. So I'm seeing that that you're not trusting your inner guidance. You're not trusting your own intuition. And that's why you're not allowing yourself to go forward with this project that you want to do, or whatever it is, little next step in your life that you want to do. And it could be something very small, very small. Doesn't have to be big, but it's just, there's just so much resistance to doing it. And the King of Cups comes in, and the King of Cups, for me, my kings are our ego. It's the ego that's blocking, that's coming in here for you. And the ego is saying, all this emotional stuff here. Here's the king. He's the King of Cups, where these emotions are supposed to flow. And we're supposed to feel all these 10 of Cup emotions, but they're in resistance here. They're being blocked, and they're being blocked by your ego. Because when the king comes in, this tells me that it's your ego that's blocking this. Because our ego will say, that masculine side of us that will say, our ego is very masculine driven, and it'll say, don't listen to emotions, don't feel, they'll get you in trouble. Emotions will get you in trouble, is what, the masculine side of us saying, don't feel. And so there is a lot of blocks here, things that are going against you. Your ego is telling you, no, don't trust your intuition. And yet there's another side of you that just really wants to take this next step in your life. And so what's coming up for you in your shadow that's related to, all of this thing that's coming up here right now, related to your fear of going forward, your resistance to taking this in a new direction. You have the 9 of Cups to start you off with. And the 9 of Cups is the card that is the initiation into feeling that full range of emotions that we're supposed to feel, including the fear. If there is a big part of this that's fear that's coming up for you, I'm hearing that word for some reason, then we have to sit with that fear, and we have to get in touch with it. But again, there's something that's really in your, because this 9 of Cups is in your shadow. So what it tells me is that there's one more to get to that full range of emotion. There's one more emotion here that needs to be felt before you can do this. One more to get to the 10, but it's being repressed right now. So because it's in reverse, it's like it's time to look at this one more thing. Because the Ace of Swords, which is the next card that comes up, and the Ace of Swords is our gift. It's our gift from the universe. It's our offer from the universe that says, let's cut through the bullshit here. Let's get to who you really are. Let's get to what this is that's blocking what needs to come out. And the sword is all about your authenticity. And it's all about your authenticity, and it's all about getting to that one thing that's really going to give you joy, and it's your passion. It's the thing that you want to do, and that's in reverse. This 8 of Pentacles is all about that job that you want to do, going towards that creative project, or going towards that thing that you want to do. It's taking your life in a new direction that's going to bring you, it's going to bring you happiness. It's going to bring you what you want to do. It's what you want to do in your life, right? And it's you. It's who you really are, right? A lot of us tend to spend our life, putting all these masks and pretending to be happy in a certain situation when we're really not. When our intuition our inner guidance will just nudge at us and say, maybe this is the way you need to go. Maybe you need to take it this way. And this is where I think you are right now. You're sitting here, wanting to do this. And there's just maybe some final emotion that you need to get at, and it could be fear. So let's see what the advice from the tarot is going to say for us. So the Justice card's coming out as the advice from the tarot, and the Justice card is all about getting to the truth. It's all about bringing balance. It's about getting to the truth. And in this case, it's about, well, let's get to the truth. Let's get to the truth of who you really are. Because the Knight of Swords is coming out. And that's a fiery, you know, freedom fighter. I always look at my knights as my freedom fighters. They're fighting for freedom. And in this particular, and they're a part of us that is, it's an adolescent part of us, a very younger part of us. Just think of yourself when you were a teenager and how you wanted to do certain things and you just weren't allowed to do them, or you couldn't do them, or maybe you were too shy to do them, or, you know, you just didn't have the courage to do it. And now this part is coming out for you in the tarot, and it's saying, you know, where can you get freedom in your life that's going to take you, It's a sword here, right? You had the sword here, which is about all your authenticity, your truth, and who you are. And now this freedom fighter's coming out for advice. It's saying, what can you do? What small step can you take towards this creative thing that you want to do for yourself, which is you, that's going to bring balance, that's going to bring the truth to who you really are. And the last card that comes out for you in reverse is the Ten of Swords to end this reading. And the Ten of Swords is that card where you have been struggling. You know, the Nine of Swords is the one with the, he's just somebody that's just weary and just like he's been in a battle, and now it's like, you know what, you're so tired. You've been struggling with this for a long time now, of just wanting to do something for you and do what you want to do, right? The Eight of Pentacles, and do what you want to do. And so it's in reverse here. So, which tells me that, you know, there's still a resistance here that you're working on. It's the beginning of March. So we're seeing maybe this is what is coming out for you in March. And sometimes with the Empress card being your overriding energy, there is a call here for you to get back into your body and start to feel some of these emotions that are blocking what need to come out in order to give you that, you know, courage to go forward with what you want to do. I'm going to end your reading with an oracle card from the Spirit Animal deck, and then, yeah, so let's see what this says here. One card, please. There we go. I've never had this one before. Ooh, the Chameleon Spirit. Act as if. Wow, I like that one. All right, so that's number 14. Chameleon Spirit, act as if. Chameleon Spirit shares her gift with you today to prepare you for changes that will greatly benefit you. Outer conditions are changing, and you're required to come into harmony with them so you can co-create your greatest dream. Feeling sensitive? Good, because that will come in handy, enabling you to determine how best to adapt to your environment and the people in it, while at the same time maintaining your integrity and inner equilibrium. Even if you feel like you're in our uncharted territory, Chameleon Spirit has complete faith in your ability to fit in and learn the lay of the land, adapting as necessary. This is a fortunate time to act as if and do as others do until the new ways feel familiar and completely natural. Life is offering you a great lesson now. Adapting isn't about losing yourself. It's about learning how to dance with others. Wow. And so act as if sometimes until you get there, right? Act as if until you get there. All right. So I'm going to leave you with a video that I just put out on my other channel, Carol Cares. And this video is on emotional journaling. And emotional journaling is an excellent way to journal about these emotions that are going to come up. Once you start to ground yourself, once you start to get back into your body, once you start to get still and feel what it is that you need to feel before you can take your life into this new direction, and you're going to act as if once you take that new direction. So I'll give you a video on emotional journaling, and I'll see you mid-month. Take care, Taurus. Bye-bye.